Okay, I know you probably all heard about this speech that Trump gave at Fort Bragg, and I'm here to tell you, Raw Story is here to tell me, so I can tell you, that it was all choreographed, because of course it was. Of course it was. Of course it was. Everything he does is choreographed. We see him walk out of Trump Tower, look right, look left, wave, fist pump. Nobody's there. I mean, he does it all the time. Like, he's had his limo pull up next to football games so he can get out and look at the crowd and wave and pretend like the crowd's looking at him. They're watching a football game, though. The dude is shameless. He's just a spectacle. He's shameless. He's a joke. He's a laughingstock. And now he's made our country a laughingstock. So we're going to have to take our country back from this fascist effing regime so that we can start to repair some of this damage that he's causing on a daily basis. Now, all of this is all the stuff that he's been dreaming about. This masturbatory parade that it could be something else. It could be the beginning of, the big ML. It could be. We don't know. There's sure going to be enough hardware in the United States on U.S. soil to start something big, for sure. But let's get to this. So, Raw Story. This is a story by Matthew Chapman. Trump screened out fat soldiers and non-MAGA fans ahead of the Fort Bragg speech. What a joke. President Donald Trump's controversial speech at Fort Bragg in North Carolina, in which he led the audience in boos against his perceived political enemies, turns out to have been tightly choreographed. Surprise, surprise. Reported military.com, with officials screening out soldiers who don't agree with Trump's agenda and even soldiers who were overweight. Internal 82nd Airborne Division communications, reviewed by military.com, reveal a tightly orchestrated effort to curate the optics of Trump's recent visit, including hand-picking soldiers for the audience, based on political leanings and physical appearance, said the report. For example, one message sent to units said, "No fat soldiers," while another said, "If soldiers have political views that are in opposition to the current administration and they don't want to be in the audience, then they need to speak with their leadership and get swapped out." A commander who wished to remain anonymous told military.com, "This has been a bad week for the Army, for anyone who cares about us being a neutral institution. This was shameful. I don't expect anything to come out of it, but I hope maybe we can learn from it long term." During the speech, Trump raged against California, where he has currently deployed the National Guard and Marines to break up protests against mass deportation, and urged the soldiers in attendance to boo the protesters and news media. The speech triggered outrage over the perceived impropriety of using troops as political props when televised partisan cheers by soldiers are against long-standing military rules. They are. I mean, the military they're trained on history, on the history specifically of authoritarian regimes, of World War I, World War II. They know this history. And for these young men to all get hard-ons listening to somebody like Fat Boy sing his greatest hits, "Oh, I'm a victim. Nobody's been investigated more than me. Even Alphonse Capone. I was investigated more than Alphonse Capone. Can you believe it? Oh, I really was." I don't get it. I just really don't get it. I just don't get it. I'll never get it, okay? Maybe because I've been watching this guy since the 80s, and I've seen him buy up little kids' beauty pageants, and I always thought that was creepy. And then he started hanging out with Epstein, and then I knew he was a pedo, and so I just didn't get it, and I didn't think that there were enough dumb Americans to fall for his shtick, because it is shtick. Melania has famously said that she can't stand to go to his rallies because she can't stand to watch him do his shtick. Yeah. She can't. It's not presidential. I can't stand to watch you with those people. Those people, MAGA. She calls you those people. Yeah. What she means is those white trash people. That's what she means. She's not. She's an immigrant too. So, Trump's the son of an immigrant. His mom was an immigrant. She didn't have but $50 when she landed here. So all of this, I get so sick of the culture war bullshit. And do we need immigration reform? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. But that requires thought out, studied legislation and policy on a bipartisan basis, or at least legislation and policy, period. I mean, the one legislative thing he's tried to do is this big pile of steaming dog shit that he thinks is going to pass, but it looks like it's kind of falling apart. I mean, that's it, because he knows he can't pass any legislation, so he's just trying to get this one thing done and just cram everything into it. That's the kind of lazy guy he is. He's not in it for the hard work. He doesn't want to govern. He's never wanted to govern. So people like Stephen Miller and all the other people in the Heritage Foundation, Tom Homan, Russ Vogt, they all run things. Well, he goes off, takes himself off to golf, renames something, wants to put up a flagpole here, wants to do this there. People keep him busy, feeding his ego with, I think you should be on Mount Rushmore. I think you should be on the $5,000 bill. If we don't have one, well, then you should make one. I mean, it's so sickening to watch this happen to America. It is. I'm disgusted. I'm kind of late to the game, to actual real patriotism, okay? I mean, I lived a much different life before, but here I am, and I till my last breath, I will be speaking out against this bullshit. Nobody stay home. The more he tells us to stay home, the more we show up. The more he tells us he doesn't like something, the more we do it. That's what we have to do before we don't get any say anymore, before we are locked down, before we don't have the jobs to get any money to do anything in our lives that we want. This could happen real fast. So everybody, we have to just rise up. That's our only option right now. And if you can't do that, then don't sit here and complain, okay? When we lose this country to this authoritarian regime that's going to turn us basically into a new Handmaid's Tale. There's going to be war. There's going to be disease. Our health industry is being decimated by a fucking idiot who wants to take away all vaccines, who's canceling research, fucking up our ability to catch Ebola and all these weird diseases before they hit the United States shores. We aren't going to have the same kind of advantage anymore over anybody in the world. Canada came out today and said, we are no longer allies. We do not agree with you. You are a fascist. And he is. He's a fascist. And we now are the fascist United States of America. Well, the fascist divided States of America. How about that? That division was intentional and strategic. And for those MAGA, if you would just rise up with us now, we would accept you. We would forget all the shit that's happened. We could just rise up together. Because it's us against these billionaires. It's us against these billionaires. It's us against these billionaires. These billionaires want to take our military with them. With them. They have a choice in this too. And I hope they make the right one. And I hope you do too, MAGA.